I mean, I've always known I wanted to be a teacher. It's always been my thing. And it's all I've done mainly as a career. I've worked plenty of jobs in restaurants and summer camps to kind of pay the bills and get some experience, but for me it's always been about teaching. So I don't have a sort of first career that I abandoned to come to teaching. It's always been about teaching for me, and luckily that's where I'm at today. Okay, so mostly at Tenet I teach 10th grade English is my main grade that I teach, and I also teach the mythology elective. And outside of that, I also run the school's, the Literati is what we call ourselves. It's the National English Honor Society, and we do all sorts of activities and events and service hours to try to enhance the literary atmosphere of the school. I also run the school's literary magazine, which is called The Muse, and those are the main things that I do right now. I did some coaching earlier. I coach baseball at Tenet, but those are the main things that I'm involved with right now.
What inspires you as a teacher?
Yeah, man, there is so much. This is a really good question. There are so many things that inspire me about this particular school and where I'm at today. I'll start with the students. I love listening and reading the thoughts of the kids who go to school here. It is such a privilege to hear their take on the world, the insights, the world events, their daily lives, and what it's like to be in high school in this day and age. And I am just inspired all the time by their takes on things and their thoughts and the literature that we're reading and our world. It really gives me some excellent perspective. So they inspire me to offer those types of projects and assignments that give them the chance to make those big connections with each other and their world and with me. So I'm constantly inspired by our students. We have terrific students here. I'm also inspired as I walk through the hallways and interact with my staff members. I'm really inspired by my colleagues. William Tenet High School and our district in general is blessed with wonderful teachers, like really high caliber teachers and administrators and staff in general, from the cafeteria to those walking the hallways, looking out for our safety. But there are so many wonderful staff members and administrators and faculty members that inspire me to do my best and to bring out the best in our students. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about your family a little bit.
So when I go home from here, if you'd like to know about my family, when I laugh just because I'm blessed, and it always puts a smile on my face. But when I go home to a wonderful wife and two children. I am blessed with a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter, and they are a handful, but they are awesome kids. And so I'm lucky enough to have a wife and 2 kids. My parents live 5 minutes away from me, so I get to see them all the time. And a lot of my extended family, believe it or not, live in Texas, which is where I was born, and Nebraska. So every now and then we'll travel out and visit them, or they come out to visit us. But I've got family all over the country, but most of us are pretty local in the Langhorne and Bucks County area. Yep.
All right, so what are your hobbies outside of school?
Well, when you're a parent of 2 little ones, you don't get many opportunities for hobbies. And whenever people ask me about my hobbies, that's always a time when I stop and think, like, maybe I need to get more hobbies. But I much like I do at Tenet, I just love coming up with ways to entertain the kids. And so I spend a lot of time hanging out with my family and just playing with the kids, helping them get better at whatever sports or activities they're involved with, or getting together with our neighbors. If I have time to myself, I love just sitting down and watching a movie or watching sports, or just starting up a campfire, bonfire outside in the yard and getting people together and just decompressing that way are kind of what I have time for. Getting outside as much as possible when the weather permits and going for a hike or a walk or working out a little bit. That's about it for me. For the rest of the school year, I think it can't be overstated how crazy this world is right now. And I think for me, it's like, if we can all just get to the end of June happy and healthy and with some sense of normalcy that we've achieved here, I'm going to be really happy. I think without sounding cheesy, I really value the time I have with my students. I can't believe we only have one marking period left together, and I'm going to miss the kids that I have right now. We have one marking period left, so I'm going to try to make the most of it and come up with cool things that I haven't gotten to do yet with them, and do as much as possible in the next few months, because the end of the year is chaotic and busy, and we've got more going on than ever. So yeah, just try to make the most of this time as with anything else, and make it valuable.
Tell me something about your department.
My department, I have the best department by far here, and that's saying that all the departments here are wonderful, but I love the English department here. They are everything you want, I think, in colleagues and staff. They're obviously brilliant and really effective educators, but they're also just really great people, supportive, great senses of humor, and give me great ideas. So I think we have a wonderful English department here, and there are so many teachers that we have here that I would have loved to have had, as a student. I think any project. So I do a lot of different. Any opportunity I get where I get to do a project with the kids that gives them the ability to use their skill set to show me what they've learned or to make powerful connections is fantastic to me. And I love those opportunities to let kids, kind of flex those creative muscles and get out of their seats and interact with either each other or the headlines or the literature that we're reading in a more meaningful way. I think that, like right now in my mythology class, kids are turning in these Pandora's box assignments. You'll see some things behind me, and a lot of those things are related to projects from creative writing assignments with poetry and short stories through the lens of the characters, or like I said, these types of arts and crafts where they're coming up with meaningful ways to connect these ancient myths with their modern world, or videos that they're producing that are parodies or full-on analyses of these projects. It's awesome, and I so enjoy getting a chance to see that, and I can't believe I get to do this for a living sometimes. It's so great what the kids are able to put in. It's really impressive. So any project that I offer that gives the kids the ability to just do something that is meaningful to them is what I'm all about. I feel honored to be a part of this little series here for the teacher feature. I know how many great colleagues work here at Tennant, and there's a lot of great teachers, and I think it's great that we're shining a spotlight on some of them and getting a chance to know them and see what they do, because it's hard to get around and see what everybody does here, and we only get little glimpses. So I feel honored to be a part of your little series. I really appreciate it.